Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that might surprise some of you but is incredibly important. Why do so many successful people often suffer from anxiety? You might think that once you've achieved success, whether it's in your career, finances, or personal goals, that stress and anxiety would disappear. But for many high achievers, it's the opposite. Anxiety can become even more prevalent after reaching certain levels of success. So in today's video, we're going to explore the psychology of success and stress, diving into why this happens and most importantly, how to manage it. Let's get started. Let's begin by addressing the paradox of success. You would think that once you've made it, whether that's building a successful career, earning wealth, or achieving a big personal milestone, that your stress would decrease. After all, isn't success supposed to bring happiness, freedom, and peace of mind? But here's where the paradox comes in. Research shows that many successful people actually experience more anxiety after achieving their goals, not less. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that high achievers are significantly more likely to suffer from anxiety disorders compared to the general population. But why is that? Another major contributor to anxiety among successful people is the fear of failure. Ironically, the more successful you become, the more you have to lose. You might think that after reaching a certain level of success, you'll feel more secure, but in reality, the stakes are higher. There's more to lose, whether it's your reputation, financial security, or your position of power. Successful people often live with a constant underlying fear that everything they've built could come crashing down if they make the wrong move or fail to meet expectations. This creates a sense of hypervigilance, where you're always on edge, anticipating what could go wrong. Another significant factor that contributes to anxiety among successful people is perfectionism. High achievers are often driven by the need to do everything perfectly, not just for themselves but for their teams, businesses, or clients. But perfectionism can quickly become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it pushes you to achieve excellence. On the other hand, it creates an enormous amount of pressure and stress because perfection is impossible to achieve. Perfectionists set impossibly high standards for themselves, and when they inevitably fall short, because no one is perfect, it leads to feelings of failure, even when they've accomplished something remarkable. This constant drive to be perfect, combined with the fear of failure, creates a breeding ground for anxiety. In addition to perfectionism, there's the issue of overworking. Successful people often feel like they can't afford to take a break. They're constantly working longer hours, sacrificing sleep, hobbies, and even relationships in order to stay ahead. According to a survey conducted by the American Institute of Stress, 60% of highly successful professionals report feeling consistently overwhelmed by their workload, leading to chronic stress and anxiety. When work becomes your identity and you tie your sense of worth to your productivity, the stakes feel higher with every task. If you're not constantly working, you feel like you're falling behind, which leads to burnout and emotional exhaustion. The trap of competing with others. Success in the modern world also comes with an ever-present pressure to compare yourself to others. Thanks to social media and our hyper-connected society, it's easier than ever to see what everyone else is achieving. For successful people, this can lead to a constant state of comparison, looking at what other leaders, entrepreneurs, or influencers are doing and feeling like you're not doing enough. This social comparison trap is a major source of anxiety because it creates unrealistic standards. You might be excelling in your career, but one glance at someone else's perfectly curated life on Instagram can make you feel like you're not successful enough, fit enough, or happy enough. Studies show that people who spend more time on social media, particularly those in competitive fields, are more likely to experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. A 2017 study published in Computers and Human Behavior found a strong correlation between high social media use and increased levels of anxiety, especially among high achievers who compare themselves to others constantly. The link between success and control. At the core of much of the anxiety that successful people feel is the issue of control. The more successful you become, the more responsibilities you have, and the more variables you have to manage. Business owners, for example, have to manage employees, clients, finances, and market changes. Even in other fields, whether you're a doctor, an artist, or a CEO, success means that there's more to control and more that could potentially go wrong. The need to control every aspect of your success can create overwhelming anxiety. There's an underlying fear that if you lose control of your work, your reputation, or your finances, everything could unravel. This constant need to control outcomes and avoid mistakes leads to chronic stress, which is a key driver of anxiety. This is why many high achievers find themselves stuck in a cycle of micromanaging or obsessing over details. They feel like they need to keep everything in check, but in doing so, they end up increasing their own stress levels. How to manage anxiety as a successful person. Now that we've identified some of the key reasons why successful people often suffer from anxiety, let's talk about what you can do to manage it. The first and most important step is recognizing that success and stress don't have to go hand in hand. Just because you're a high achiever doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your mental health. 1. Practice self-compassion. One of the biggest challenges for successful people is learning to be kind to themselves. If you tend to be hard on yourself, remember that it's okay to make mistakes and not be perfect. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a close friend. 2. Set boundaries. Successful people often struggle with setting boundaries because they feel like they need to be available at all times. However, setting boundaries around your time and energy is crucial for reducing stress. This might mean delegating tasks, saying no to new projects, or setting strict work hours. 3. Reframe your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, try to view it as a learning opportunity. Even the most successful people fail sometimes. It's part of the journey. By reframing failure as growth, you can reduce the anxiety associated with making mistakes. 4. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Mindfulness meditation, yoga, and deep breathing exercises are all proven to reduce anxiety. By practicing mindfulness, you can calm your mind, reduce stress, and increase your ability to focus on the present moment instead of worrying about the future. 5. Seek professional help if needed. If your anxiety feels overwhelming or is impacting your daily life, don't hesitate to seek help from a mental health professional. Therapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be incredibly effective for managing anxiety and learning healthier coping mechanisms. Success doesn't have to mean stress. At the end of the day, success doesn't have to come at the cost of your mental health. While it's true that success can bring new challenges and pressures, it's possible to manage anxiety and live a balanced, fulfilling life. The key is recognizing the triggers, practicing self-compassion, and learning to manage the stress that comes with achieving your goals. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video on mental health, success, and personal growth. And in the comments below, let me know, how do you manage stress and anxiety in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts.